G'day, it's Rob here again. Well, I was looking in one of those cheapest chips places the other day. They have all that really cheap stuff, you know, just wandering around. And I saw these alphabet letters, pack of 200, and if a craft work. And yeah, I thought, well, they got possibilities. They're made out of some sort of wood, I think. I haven't opened them up yet. But I thought they'd be good. You could use them as a former to cast some little name tags. And I had a look at my wood heap, and I got a bit of wood here which I could use. You could just glue the letters on with a bit of woodwork, PVA glue, you know, woodworking glue. Just trim this back to the same width as the letters. And yeah, so once you've got the word on there that you want to cast, well then it's just a matter of, yeah, glue them on and get some, I'll use sand and molasses, playpen sand and molasses mix, and just push the former into it. Right, well there it is. I just put a little dab of Sally's Aquadeer on it. I just used a cotton, ear cleaning, you know, cotton probe thing. Cotton bud, and I think I've got pretty square, pretty even spacing. A little bit more up that end because that's the end. I might put a tag on it, like a key ring maybe. I don't know. It's just a bit of an experiment, really. We'll see how it goes. So I leave it to dry overnight, and then we can do a pour. To do this, I'll just use my old original coffee tin furnace. It's getting a bit beat up, but it's still good. And just heat it up with a bullfinch torch, or maybe my big butane torch. We'll see anyway. But you won't need a lot of aluminium to do this. I'll just melt it in that, and you know, once again, you don't have to have a huge setup to do this sort of stuff. You can fiddle around and, you know, melt. There's certainly that amount of aluminium with a piece of cake to melt. You could just about do it on the kitchen stove, you know. I've decided to use the old companion blowtorch that I've had like forever. You can pick those up pretty cheap, you know, second hand. They used to be all the rage back in the 70s, and yeah, you know, they pop up quite often, so that's a good sized burner on that one. That should melt it, or that will melt it, no problem. And yeah, we'll just go with that one. We don't need a lot of aluminium, so we'll use that bit. That bit, that's more than enough. So yeah, I just have a tub with all my bits and pieces in it. That's some aluminium I poured, and it showed up pretty well, but I wasn't completely happy. See, it's got a little flaw in it, so you can just remelt it, no problem. So part of an old washing machine motor pulley. Yeah. Right. Well, I was going to do this with kids' playpen sand and automatic transmission fluid, but when I tried to put the wooden mould into it, some of the letters, like the centre of the D, was breaking away. I wasn't happy with it. So I've decided I'll just do it in plaster of Paris. Gone back to the basics and just hope for the best with that. It's hard, but I'll leave it for 12 hours at least, then tap it, you know, and hopefully it'll just separate and come out. I oiled the wood very lightly with a bit of WD-40 to try and stop it bonding too much. We'll just have to see how it goes, but yeah, all right, moving on. Burn all that out. Now we'll pour some aluminium in it. Took some getting out, it wouldn't have come out any other way. Well, it was a good day for metal casting. It's bloody freezing in Adelaide, so yeah, I might actually just put the gas torch on that and fill in those corners a bit, I think. I melted it into the corners with the gas torch, just went over it, and you can actually probably just melt aluminium into the mould. You know, if you had, you know, small bits, you could basically just avoid the crucible step if you didn't have a crucible or you know, a furnace, and just melt aluminium in like you're melting, say, a stick of solder, you know, and the dross would come to the top. Using plaster of Paris, it should hold its form. So anyway, I'd be interested to see how or if this comes out and whether I can actually reuse the plaster of Paris mould, you know, whether it's going to release or not, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, it's loose. Letting it cool down and shrink. Not bad. So that didn't turn out too bad. It's taking a bit of the mould there. Overall, not bad at all. So yeah, we know ATF didn't work because of these little fine areas like this. It didn't help it. I'll put this on the Lunisher and see how it comes up. Yeah, the mould worked okay. You lose a bit of your definition. Now, I was thinking about this. I wonder how this would go if you were to make the mould the same as before, but instead of using sand or plaster of Paris, which, yeah, is a problem, well, I'll just try smear it with silicon, like high temperature silicon that you could use for gaskets on cars. I've got a full canister of that, so I'm going to do that next. I think I'm going to give that a go. Make up the same sort of former. Rub some light oil all over it, and then cover it with silicon gasket cement, and then you should be able to just, take that off pretty easy. And yeah, see how that goes. Interesting experiment. I mean, this is just a bit of mucking around to see how it goes. But yeah, I think silicon, yeah, I'll give it a go, because that's really high temperature stuff, the one I've got, and I think it should stand up to this sort of heat. We'll find out anyway. All right, well, that's it for now. I'll see you next time. Cheers.